Hi guys, it's Ryan and welcome to Sundays on Transosaurus. This week, I don't actually think anyone other than Owen's uploaded. If they have, it hasn't come into my subscription box. But basically the subject of the week has been like dealing with your families, how to like deal with their reactions and to you coming out as trans obviously. And what else do we talk about here? I came out in February this year, just before my 19th birthday. I came out to a bunch of my friends first, then to my parents, then to one older brother, and then to the other one. I wrote a letter to my parents, and they were okay. And okay is about as good as we can get. They haven't been good about it. In fact, my dad's been quite horrible about it at times, as has my mum, but they haven't been too bad, I guess. Both my parents' initial reactions was, it's okay, we love you, we're here to support you, we'll help you. The first couple of weeks they really did try, and then they just stopped trying, which was strange. It's been very difficult actually with my parents, and dealing with the way they react to me is quite difficult. Neither of them feel comfortable using my preferred name, even though I've now got it changed by Deepo and I'm refusing to let people refer to me as my birth name. Neither of them are particularly comfortable with that. Neither of them feel comfortable calling me a guy, because apparently I'm not a guy yet. Yeah, you can see kind of where this is going. My mum insists that if I'm going to be trans, I need to have bottom surgery. Otherwise, I'm not really going to ever be a guy, am I? They're very sort of old-fashioned with their views, and even they educate themselves a bit on trans, but they're still old-fashioned with their views on trans. Even if I try and educate them, they're not interested in learning. This is the thing, they aren't interested in being involved. I think they would much prefer me to move away and never talk to them again. Why is it every time I record there's millions of trans? Which is fine, which is my plan in the future, will be to move out and probably never associate with them again. Which will be fun, I'm actually really excited for that, which is ridiculous. I shouldn't be counting away the days until I never have to see my parents again, but alas, it is what it is. My parents' reaction could have been worse. They have made my life difficult and they can be quite cruel, and I'm not going to go into details because it's quite triggering and hard for me to talk about. Dealing with it, I have I guess I've avoided the conversation, and I know that doesn't seem like the right way. A lot of people are like, oh no, you need to hit it head on. I bring it up here and there, but I wouldn't sit down and have a proper chat with them, because if I try and do that they just get defensive and angry, and I think for me the best way to deal with it has just been to not get them involved. I didn't tell them I was getting my name changed until it turned up and they were like, oh, what's that? Because they go through my mail sometimes, which is a bit strange. And so on and so forth. My oldest of my two brothers, Matthew, he's been really good about it. He did do a bit of calling me birth name Ryan for a while to his child, so the night to auntie, uncle, birth name Ryan, which was a little bit like, but it was his way of sort of getting used to it. And he's one of these that rather than get stressed or that, he will make a joke out of things and sort of keep everything very upbeat and light is his way of coping with things. And I mean, it was nice actually. I especially at the beginning of my transition, when I first came out, I'd be over there like every week because it was nice to be around someone who sort of respected me and wanted to talk about it and so on and so forth. That was all cool. The third member of my family, which come out to, is my other older brother, who basically said, I only think I'm transgender because I have mental health issues, which I think that is a common misconception, is that having depression that can cause you to be transgender, whereas I think it's more being transgender causes you to be depressed. I mean, that's the way I see it. And that's not to say everyone who's trans is depressed or everyone who's depressed is trans, so on and so forth, but I know that I get very depressed about trans-related things because I see myself as this manny man, and everyone else sees me as sort of a girly man, you know, and I know how I want to look and how I'm meant to be and everything, and people don't see it and people don't want to see it, and it's just, and it fucks with your head, so therefore I get depressed and get stressed and have anxieties about it and all sorts of stuff. So for me, I feel like my being trans has been the root of a lot of my sort of mental health issues. I wouldn't say it's like the be all and end all of this, the only reason that I have these things. With him, I don't see him, basically ever. When I do, he's come over here and he's come around for dinner or something, and the conversation never turns towards me anyway. I don't talk to him about it. I'm not interested in talking to him about it. I just give him dirty looks half the time for using the wrong name and stuff. That's the only thing really, as I'll sort of correct him. Depending on the situation, I'll correct him on names/pronoun. My dad is quite a racist, bigoted person, and my brother has definitely taken after him in that sense. They're both kind of homophobic, transphobic, racist, so with them it's kind of very difficult to discuss things. Whereas Matthew is my half-brother, so he's got some views that are not my family's, if you know what I mean. Regarding like then going outwards, family-wise, there are a few I think all my aunts and uncles know. I don't think my granddad does, but he doesn't even know who I am, so it wouldn't make a lot of difference to him. Basically, like, all my aunts and uncles know, and all of them have basically had a, yeah, that's cool, whatever. There's one or two that went, yeah, figures, sort of thing. I haven't really had any majorly bad sort of reactions. From a couple of my friends' parents I've had bad reactions. One of my friend's parents had like the most amazing reaction. They were so supportive and so sweet. I just went, oh. If you have come out and you do have a really bad reaction, if you are in danger, the most important thing is to get out of that situation. There are plenty of places you can go. I don't know about the UK, but I know in other places, and I'm pretty sure there are like LGBTQ plus sort of youth hostels, or there's just general youth hostels about. You might have to do a little bit of research and get into an internet cafe or something. Stay with a friend. I think it's always going to be difficult. Parents are always going to be difficult because they raised you as one thing. Even if that isn't the thing, they'll always act like it's a surprise when you come out. If they constantly make you uncomfortable, try and get out of the situation in any way you can. Even if it's just you go and stay with a friend for a couple of nights. I don't know, you could arrange to stay at one friend's every week on a Friday, and then another friend's maybe on a Tuesday or a Saturday or something, just so you're away from that situation. If your parents or your family take it extremely negatively, then you have to put yourself first. You're not alone, and there's all sorts of resources and people out there that you can talk to. I know that personally I don't have any trans friends in person. Like, I don't know any trans people. There was one girl who I went to school with who's transitioned from male to female, and I have her on Facebook, but we don't talk. Like, we never spoke anyway. We were running completely different sort of friendship circles, so we never would have spoken anyway. But she did add me on Facebook after I came out, but we've never spoken. So really I don't know anyone in person. I know the lads on here, and there's a couple of guys I know through Facebook groups, which are quite good. There's resources out there, and there's books. I have a lot of books on sort of trans issues, one of which my mum is actually reading, which I'm pretty impressed about. I've got one called I Am Jay, one called I Know Very Well How I Got My Name, one that's called The Boy Who Was Born a Girl, or something like that. That was once a TV documentary in England, but I can't find the actual TV documentary anywhere. And what I've got another one called Beyond Magenta, which also talks about non-binary and stuff like that, which is quite interesting because not a lot of non-binary is sort of very pushed to the side, I think. I feel like in the public eye you get male to female, F to M, and then non-binary, gender fluid. All that is sort of just pushed under the carpet. It doesn't exist to the general media. If your parents or your family are negative, find comfort elsewhere. Find it in your friends, in Facebook groups, there's a lot of trans YouTubers out there that you can possibly get talking to. People on Tumblr, books and movies and music even. There's music by trans artists. A very popular one is Ryan Casada? I don't know how you pronounce his surname, but a guy named Ryan. I can link his YouTube down below. And Against Me, who is Laura Jane Grace. They have like a whole album called Transgender Dysphoria Blues, and they have two songs on there. One which is called Transgender Dysphoria Blues, the other one which is called True Trans Rebel. And my dad is home, so it's my key to not be doing this. Anyway, I shall go now. They hate this on YouTube thing. I shall go now. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to click like if you enjoyed it, click subscribe to see more, and as always I will see you next week. Goodbye.